Oh.
Binge watching.
We're back, I think.
It looks like we're back, right?
Yeah.
Let's check.
Redemption.
Can I hear though? That's the thing.
Yeah, that is the defining question here. What time is it?
It's 9:33.
9:33 p.m.
Or 10:02 it says.
Yeah. Take two.
It's not up on here.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
All right. So, should we just pick up where we left off? Or
Well, let's wait for people to come back.
Yeah.
I already commented.
Come on back.
I commented on the last one that we were not coming back, but we are back actually. So
Yeah.
I lied. Thank goodness I lied.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Except I can't find that first live stream.
Yeah, it's just
All right, let's talk about something
Fantasy.
off of fantasy right now because I want to have people here talk about that.
Okay.
Okay.
So what else is on our list that we have?
Where's the list?
My agenda here.
Yeah.
It's not.
Did you eat it?
No, I did not. We're talking about week one storylines. We're talking about Texans Chiefs.
Yeah, let's talk about week one storylines.
Okay. Any you want to mention the storyline? I to be honest, I didn't read too much into it.
Just talk about the game.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to talk about. I was going to talk about the Texas Chiefs game, but I'll save that for later because you're probably already hearing a lot about that because it's tomorrow. I want to talk about this Jets Bills game because I really think that this is going to be a game where we see how good this Buffalo team can be. I'm really excited to see Josh Allen. In his first game of the year, I've been hyping him up all offseason. The arm strength is there, the mobility is there. Just can he fix that accuracy? Sometimes he gets a little antsy, misses a throw, and that ends up costing his team the game. So I'm really excited to see Josh Allen, and I think he's going to have a great opportunity to, build that chemistry with Stephon Diggs. His receiving core is really solid. Everyone knows about Diggs. They also have Cole Beasley, John Brown. He's got two good running backs, two young guys. Devin Singletary, he's a nice nifty back. I remember watching him in the wild card game when the Bills played the Texans. He made a lot of our linebackers miss tackles, which that's not unique to him by any means, but still credit to him. Credit to him for that. So I really like Buffalo's future, and I like their young core, especially on offense. So I'm really looking forward to watching Josh Allen do his thing. I think he's gonna have a big day against the Jets.
Okay, that's definitely a good one, especially for you because I know that you like your Bills. One matchup that I want to point out, and I think this is probably going to be the matchup of the week. I just want to make sure it is this week. Where is it?
What are you looking for?
Yeah, there it is. Saints Bucks. Yeah. So I think that's going to be the matchup of the week. That's going to be the matchup to watch, and it's pretty obvious reasons. First of all, we'll start with the Bucks. We were talking about them earlier in our attempt number one at the live stream. We were talking about Tom Brady. He's there now. Gronk's there now. They got Leonard Fournette there now. They still got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin there now. They got Devin White there now. They got Shaquille Barrett there now. They got a lot of people there now who are really good there now. Sorry about that. Just had to keep going. So there's a lot of hype around the Buccaneers. And there's also the Saints, who Drew Brees has been there for a long time. They got Michael Thomas. They got Emmanuel Sanders, who Ryan thinks is one of, or not, maybe he thinks is the most underrated pick up.
Acquisition.
There it is of the off season. And I agree with you. I don't know how good he'll do, but he'll definitely draw some targets away from Michael Thomas, or if they're double covering Thomas, Sanders will get those targets. So I think that's going to be the game to watch. I think it's going to be Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. That's just a storyline right there. But with Tom Brady going to a new team at this point, now in the same division with Drew Brees, that's going to be fun. 2 games a year we get to see between Tom Brady and Drew Brees. That's going to be fun. And last year's games between the Saints and the Bucks, those were shootouts too. I think it was the second week or something like that. It was near the beginning of the season, though. There was a good game, a shootout between the Saints and the Bucks. So I think that's going to be possibly a high-scoring game and definitely something to watch.
Yeah, and just really quick to add, I am really, really a believer in the Saints, but I don't think Tampa Bay is a bad team. There's people who think that Tampa's a Super Bowl contender, and there's people that think that this Buccaneers team is just going to flop and go like 5-11. I'm right in the middle. I think this is a wild card team. I think this team will get into the playoffs, get around 9 to 10 wins. But at the end of the day, I still think this division belongs to Sean Payton, Drew Brees, and New Orleans Saints. I think it'll be a fun game, and I think these two teams are both going to be fun to watch for respective reasons throughout the year. But again, I mentioned one of the can't miss games this week. I mean, every game's a can't miss game in a way because we've got football in 2020, so let's take it and run with it.
Yeah, I agree. Ryan, you're completely right about that. It's such a true statement. Every game is a week one storyline.
Yes.
Because with an uncertain offseason, not knowing if we're going to get football, we have to take advantage of all we can get. Because there was a time where we weren't even sure we were going to get any. That being said, always week one, the 2 Monday night football games, fun to watch. We got 2 good ones this week. One better than the other. The Titans and Broncos one, who some people had controversy and opinions about that in our recent picks video. And then it's the Giants and the Steelers. That's kind of like an old-timey matchup.
Yeah,
right?
it kind of feels like it'll be, obviously, Big Ben coming back in that first game. How will he do? That team around him looks really different than it did when he left. He's got some new weapons. Eric Ebron, his new tight end. Chase Claypool, the second-round pick that I think will be nice. And you and I are both high on him as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then, still got Juju Smith-Schuster there. So, I think that it's going to be different for Ben, and I think it's going to take some time. But, he better get up to speed quick because he's got a tough division to play in that AFC North, and they've got some tough opponents on their schedule. And then, as you mentioned, in that second game, Tennessee and Denver, we've got some commenters, who said, they feel that the Titans are going to win that game. And some people felt very strongly about it. And they said that on our picks video, but I believe, all picked the Broncos. So some disagreement between the table and the commenters, but honestly, I think that's a good thing. So we'll see who gets the last laugh, but certainly that is a game to watch, especially after those comments. And I'm sure that'll be a fun way to close out week one.
Yes, it definitely will be. And also going to be fun to watch the Cowboys just play football with all those weapons. I want to see how Dak, CeeDee, Amari, and Michael Gallup. Sorry, I'm out of breath because I was just running on the stairs. But I want to see that duo in full action. We'll see it primetime game Sunday night, Cowboys, Rams. I'm as much as I don't like the Cowboys, it is going to be fun to see how they can put their team together. Yeah, and I'm going to stop talking.
All right. Plenty of players to watch out for this year. So this year and this week, we can talk about year storylines. We can talk about breakout players or just week one players to look out for. Ryan already mentioned Chase Claypool, who he knows I'm very high on. Yeah. I think. I said this before, but to make a quick, bold prediction here, I think by the end of the year, Chase Claypool will be the number one receiver in Pittsburgh. And while we're doing that, let's just get into. You guys have any bold predictions?
I got one. I kind of just thought of this, earlier today. So I'm high on the Cleveland Browns, and they're my pick to win the AFC North, and I'm going to stand by that. I know it's a bold prediction, but hey, it's 2020. We've seen crazy things happen. It's truly going to be a season like no other in a lot of ways. So I'm sure there's going to be some unexpected things, as there are every year. But with the Cleveland Browns, I look at an acquisition that I don't think is getting enough attention. I like how they picked up Austin Hooper. They paid him a lot, so maybe overpaid him a little bit. But sometimes you got to do that. Just to get players. Sometimes you have to spend more than you should, but that's okay. You got to be aggressive. Got to get those guys you want. The salary cap, worry about that later, honestly. But my prediction is that Austin Hooper, with that new Kevin Stefanski offense, I think we're going to see a lot of heavy sets, a lot of times where there's 2 tight ends on the field, a kind of a different type of football. And Austin Hooper already was a great red zone target there for Matt Ryan in Atlanta, probably part of the reason why Julio's been so low on touchdowns at times. I think Austin Hooper will lead all tight ends in receiving touchdowns in 2020 and be a big reason why the Cleveland Browns have a lot of success.
All right, big statement.
Yeah.
I've made a few bold predictions on this channel and videos in the past. One of the bigger ones I'll just mention right now, it's involving Kenny Golladay, the wide receiver of the Detroit Lions. And my bold prediction for him was that he would be a consensus top 5 receiver after this season is said and done, after it's in the books. As much as I don't like the Lions because they're in my division as a Bears fan, I do think Matthew Stafford's going to do some good stuff. I do think that Kenny Golladay is going to do some good stuff. And he'll be up there with guys like DeAndre Hopkins, Davante Adams, Michael Thomas. His name will be consensusly up there with them after this season. I think he'll go for a bunch of touchdowns. He'll be getting close to Megatron records there in Detroit. I like what's gonna. I think I'm gonna like what I see from Kerryon Johnson, Kenny Golladay this season.
Yeah, those are some good bold predictions. If we think of any more throughout the stream, depending on how long this thing goes,
we're gonna say it. Got a prediction here, and this is just kind of a quick prediction that I'm just gonna say, and it's probably not gonna be right, but hey, it's bold. Why not? Bears fan. That's what I am. We talked about Trubisky earlier in our other live stream that went off, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, no, right. Good time. Yeah. What do you think about Mitch being QB1 over Foles? Wow. I'll answer that in a second, Jess. But I was just about to say my bold prediction is that Mitchell Trubisky holds the starting spot for the whole duration of the season.
So Foles does not start again.
I'm gonna double down on that. I agree, Jordan. Yeah.
All right.
And I'm gonna double blank on that.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I shouldn't have said it that way.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said that at all. You don't say that in the city limits of Chicago. So just to answer the question, what do you think about Mitch being QB1 over Foles? I've talked about it before. I like it. I think it's a good move. I think I'm going to like what I see from Mitch out in the field on Sundays, and mostly when the Bears are playing or whenever the heck they're out in the field. I think I'm going to like what I see. I think he's got that chip on his shoulder. I think he's got Nick Foles breathing down his neck the entire season, so he knows he has to play his best football every single time his cleats step out onto those blades of grass. I think he's going to be able to do it.
Big year for him, contract year as well. So that just adds to, all that pressure.
Absolutely make or break season.
Yes, for sure. All right. Should we go back to the fantasy talk again?
Yeah.
Sure, if you guys
Okay.
want to say.
Run through the rosters really quickly.
Yeah.
And then
So in our last live stream,
this is where it's
mine
at.
actually basically got all the way through. I'm not going to explain anymore. I'll just start reading off my team. So we're having a 2-quarterback league. So my quarterbacks are Russell Wilson and Matthew Stafford. Talking about Matthew Stafford earlier, I liked him. Excuse me. And then we have 2 running backs. So I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, one of my favorite players in the NFL currently. And then also another rookie running
He
back.
hasn't even played a snap on the field.
Yeah, we got 22 hours.
Yeah. That's true. I'm excited to see him. That's going to be the storyline of the first game is watching Clyde play some football. But also another rookie running back I doubled up on the rookies for my starters. I got Jonathan Taylor from Indianapolis. We'll see if he could do some good stuff. I know they have a good offensive line. So if he gets more carries over Marlon Mack, I think he can produce. And then wide receivers, I have Michael Thomas. I have Kenny Galladay, who I talked about earlier. And I have Tyler Lockett of the Seahawks. And the tight end, best one, in my opinion, draft fantasy, Travis Kelce. George Kittle went before Travis Kelce, so I'm glad I got Travis. And then 2 flex positions. Those will switch kind of every week. So I'll just start naming off other players. Devontae Parker, DJ Chark, T.Y. Hilton, Michael Gallup, Evan Ingram, Jordan Howard, Zach Moss, John Brown. Defense is the Patriots, and the kicker, unfortunately, is Matt Gay, but he was cut. I didn't know that, and so now I have to pick up a different kicker.
Would have been good to know.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Ryan's team.
All right, here, just give me my phone real quick. It's on my phone.
I can put.
I had to constantly make sure the audio is working.
Yeah.
For some reason, it cut out last time.
We've had our share of we're almost 4 hours after we were supposed to start, and we're on take 2. But yeah, as I'm pulling up my team here, I'm excited. I feel good about my team. I got the 8th pick in our 8-team league, so that was a little bit disappointing. But I still think I did a great job. I'll read off my team.
I had 7
really quickly. Yeah, we were back to back, but we were. And I'm gonna read off my team. It's a 2-quarterback league. I've got Deshaun Watson and Josh Allen. I'm really happy about both of those guys. Receivers, Chris Godwin, DK Metcalf, and Robert Woods. So not really any elite players, but I think those are guys who will be solid and get the job done every Sunday.
I think mine and Ryan's teams are kind of flip-flop because I don't have any really truly elite running backs. I mean, I think Clyde will be elite at the end of the season, but there's no one who really is staring at you and you're just like, wow, that guy is phenomenal. But my wide receivers are stacked. He's kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
His running backs are stacked. You'll hear that right now.
We play each other week 1, actually.
Absolutely.
So
I've been studying his roster just like I've been studying mine. Obviously, I've been studying mine more. But, you always got to look at your opponent.
Yeah. And then running backs, I do feel really good about these 2. Dalvin Cook and Nick Chubb, I got them at 8th and 9th overall, respectively. Think those guys will both do great for me. Tight end Darren Waller, I think that's a nice one. And as of right now, my flexes are Brandon Cooks and Emmanuel Sanders. Brandon Cooks is questionable, though, already, and he hasn't even played a game for the Texans yet. So I'll have to monitor that in the next 24
I'm sure,
hours.
I feel like we're going to see that questionable a lot for Brandon Cooks.
We'll see. And then my bench, a lot of rookies here. Cam Akers, probably going to be the starting running back for the Rams. Their 2nd-round pick. He was my 4th-ranked running back in the draft. Austin Hooper, I made that bold prediction about him earlier. I think he's not getting enough attention. Noah Fant is a guy who can succeed.
Drafted 3 tight ends.
I got a lot of weapons. I got to see how I'm going to play my cards. Yeah, as of right now, I'm going to stick with the 3 tight ends, and we'll see what happens. James White, I mean, you never really know. Sometimes it's a James White day. Sometimes it's a Sony Michel day. Sometimes it's someone you never heard of day.
Sometimes it's none of them.
Yeah, sometimes it's none of them. So, we'll see what happens with the New England running back. Probably going to be on my bench. Then I got 2 rookie receivers, Brandon Ayuk, who is questionable, and Justin Jefferson. I got both of those guys towards the end of the draft. Feel kind of good about both of them, really. I didn't like where Ayuk was drafted in the real draft, but for fantasy, when the 49ers basically gave away Marquise Goodwin, although he opted out anyway, and, Deebo Samuel and some other guys in that receiving core and really on that offense have had some injury concerns. I feel good about this, especially as a late round pick. And then my kicker, Greg Zuerlein, gotta love Greg the Leg. And then my defense, Buffalo, and I'm high on that Buffalo team. So there's my fantasy team. After we all list our teams, comment who you think has the best team this year.
Yeah, and before I go, I do want to say, if the audio cuts out again, which was unfortunate last time, just let us know.
Yeah.
We'll see it, and then if it doesn't, that we're not going to be trying this for a third time. So that's going to be it for the night. If that does happen, hopefully that's not the case.
We'll keep going though.
Yeah, we're gonna be optimistic about this.
We do have school tomorrow, but I don't care.
I got a test and a quiz tomorrow. Yeah, come on, let's go live
I have a
stream.
test. Why the heck would you take a test?
Me too.
Why the heck would you take a test?
I got to do it.
Yeah. All right. Anyways,
Should be all right.
It's my turn to read off my team, so I'll go from top to bottom. In the terms of what's on here. So my 2 quarterbacks, I have 3, but the 2 quarterbacks that I have starting right now are Matt Ryan and Ben Roethlisberger. I feel confident about those 2. I went a little later drafting quarterbacks, and I think it's going to be worth it when you see the rest of my team. My running backs, Alvin Kamara and Josh Jacobs. I really like those 2 starting running backs. I have my running back slot. Wide receivers, Allen Robinson. Got to get the Bears guy, right? A.J. Brown, who I think could have an even better year than he did last year. Calvin Ridley, who's been around for a while and been putting up some pretty good points. I've had him for a couple of years in a row, I feel like. Jared Cook, who I had last year at my tight end position. I lack a little bit there, but I think that could be an underrated one. My 2 flex positions, I have Austin Eckler and Stephon Diggs. I feel really confident in my flex as well.
Yeah, I like those.
My kicker is Jake Elliott. Yes, I'm not going to go into reasoning as to why I chose him. But then my defense is the Bears, and my bench, I'll read it off quickly. Antonio Gibson, the running back for the football team. You might not know who he is.
Call them Washington. At the table.
Okay. Washington. I drafted another quarterback. His name is Joe Burrow. I'm not sure if you've heard of him. I hope you've heard of him. I was joking. You better have heard of him.
Go Ducks!
And you get a lot of young players as we go down more. Jerry Jeudy, Jay Hawkinson, Cole Kmet, and Chase Claypool, who I talked about earlier on in this stream. Talking about how good he is. And by the way, if you want to see more of our live stream, we just did another one right before this.
Yeah.
So just go watch it when you're done watching this. It should be part 1. This will be part 2.
And also, by the way, if you have any questions for us, put them in the comments. We'll definitely be answering those.
Yeah, you guys keep sending questions. We'll stay here. I got no problem with
They
that.
got more questions.
Yeah. You got more questions? Well, send them in.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So we've talked about
the agenda.
We've talked about the playoff teams. We've talked about some more predictions at the beginning of this one.
Yeah. You guys want to break down each other's teams a bit, or do you want to move on to the next thing?
I mean, if they want it, we can do it.
Speak to us.
Hand me over that paper because I've looked at Ryan's team extensively.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a live breakdown of Tyler's.
Tell us who's going to have the best team.
In my opinion, I'm going to go by position. Fantasy expert over here. I don't actually have all my papers with me. I made this is my top 125. And then I also had quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end, and defense and kicker as well. I don't think I missed any positions, but I had my own personal rankings for all those. I put hours into all those sheets.
Plenty of hours. Too many hours.
My team is drafted. You read it off. I read it off to you. I hope you guys like it. But quick breakdown of Tyler's team, then move on to the next thing. First off, quarterbacks, Matt Ryan, and I'll try to say it right.
I'm behind the camera unless you use judgment, but still.
Keep going. 2 pretty good quarterbacks, in my opinion. I think Matt Ryan's going to do some good stuff this year. He's got Julio and Kelvin, so he better. I had my team last year. He had some nice production. He got a decent amount of yards every game. The problem is he kind of threw a lot of he threw the opposite. He threw a lot of interceptions last year, which I think needs to go down. But he's pretty good. And then Roethlisberger, I can never say it right. I always slur the TH. But I like Ben. I like Big Ben. I think the Steelers can do some good stuff. I think Juju's going to have a bounce back year. I think James Conner's going to have a bounce back year. And I think Ben's going to have a bounce back year. Hopefully he stays on the field because he is a great player and he's getting towards the end of his career. I hope he can finish this season and do some good stuff with the guys in yellow and black. So I think those are 2 pretty solid quarterbacks. Then his Tyler's upstairs. I'll just keep going. Alvin Kamara and Josh Jacobs, his running backs. There's not really much to say besides the fact that those two guys are some phenomenal running backs. I know Tyler loves Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
He's really glad that he got Josh on his team. And Alvin Kamara, he actually took him.
Yeah,
he took him before Dalvin Cook
and Nick Chubb and Derrick Henry. You know, I wasn't a bad pick. I expect a bounce back here from Kamara as well, but I was a little surprised with that.
I was surprised by that. But he likes them, and he got two guys at the running back position that he likes.
I like what you were saying. I was listening on the TV up there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they got on the TV.
Yeah. And then wide receivers, Allen Robinson, A.J. Brown, and Calvin Ridley. Three pretty good wide receivers. I love A.J. Brown. Of course, I love Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson.
Gotta hold in those birds. Come on.
As a Bears fan, he did some really good stuff for me last year on my fantasy team. And then Calvin Ridley, it's kind of interesting the split between him and Julio Jones every week. Who's going to get those big fantasy points? But I definitely do like Calvin Ridley. What is this, his third year now?
I think so, at least. I mean,
he's in the same draft class as DJ Moore, right? So
yeah, I think
that doesn't help. But
yeah, I think it's his third year.
Anyways, next position, the tight end. He's got two. He's got Jared Cook and Cole Kmet. Early in the drafts of my own personal rankings, I had Jared Cook pretty high, but then I just kind of had him falling a bit more as time went. Tyler had him on his team last year, so he knows what he can do. But with the addition of Emmanuel Sanders to that team, that's one more weapon that's going to take some targets away from Jared Cook. And Michael Thomas is just going to continue to get those targets as long as he keeps running slants. So that's why I kind of dropped.
I could also argue that they're going to be trying to cover Emmanuel Sanders more as he starts to become more of a threat. That could definitely help Jared Cook.
I like Jared Cook. I think he's been underrated. He's bounced around the league a little bit. You know, the Rams and the Packers and the Raiders and all the Saints. I think he's kind of been quietly a pretty good tight end. He's come up in the clutch a couple times.
Yeah, it's definitely a negating conversation that we can continue to have, but I'm just going to continue to roll on with his team. Love this next guy, Austin Eckler, who's in his flex. I really wanted him on my team. I think he's going to do some outstanding things as we are glowing for a second. Wow.
Yeah, that's the camera's kind of being a little weird right now. Right now we're clear, but then we might turn into angels in like 5 seconds.
Yeah. So I like Austin Eckler. Now that Melvin Gordon's out of the way, I think he's going to do phenomenal. When Melvin Gordon was holding out last year, Austin Eckler went off, and Tyler knows that personally because he had Austin Eckler on his team. And when Melvin Gordon came back, he was not happy about that because Austin Eckler's points went down. But I think we'll do some good stuff. Then Stephon Diggs, I like him too. I really do like John Brown, who I have on my team. Now, I understand Stephon Diggs is the number one wide receiver there. I get it. But what John Brown did last year, I can't get over it. I think he did some really good stuff. I don't think he's going to go away. I don't think Stephon Diggs is going to be an outstandingly, overwhelmingly number one guy. That didn't really make sense. But I don't think he's going to be a glaring number one guy on that team. I think John Brown's going to get his fair share of targets. And I think it could be something with maybe you see with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin in Tampa Bay. Just depends on which week one of them is going to go off. I think Stephon Diggs can have the upper hand, just like you can say Chris Godwin has the upper hand. But still, that's just my opinion, and I'm glad I got John Brown. So we'll go a little faster now. He's got Jake Elliott and Chicago for his defense. Jake Elliott is not his defense. He's his kicker. But the Bears defense is always great to have as a Bears fan for him. Then Antonio Gibson. This is someone he's really high on out of college. Now that Adrian Peterson is gone.
I could explain that really quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Multiple times.
Yeah, go ahead.
To me, I don't see why they would get rid of Adrian Peterson if they didn't have enough confidence in Antonio Gibson. Adrian Peterson, I know right now wasn't the best running back of all time, but he was definitely up there in his prime, and he still was not that terrible. I don't know why. They could have at least kept him in the backup spot, but they must have felt so confident that Antonio Gibson was going to be their guy that they were like, we don't even need him anymore.
Or they're tanking.
Or they're being stupid, or maybe Adrian Peterson did something behind the scenes that we don't know. We also got a question on the last stream about what we thought about Adrian Peterson going to the Lions. They got a stacked running back room now. Sorry, Jordan, I'll let you get back to my team.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
But
usually I'd be upset, but it's fine.
I think I don't know how necessary it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to make a huge impact. I think they have better guys there, but at least I will say that they might be able to keep their running backs there longer because they won't be getting injured if there's 4 of them.
Yeah, and really quick to add on that, I think they're going to use a committee approach with Swift, Kerryon Johnson, Adrian Peterson. So at least for week 1, I'm eager to see, how they kind of, use all three of those, like who's the third down back, who's the red zone back, who's the short yardage back. I'm sure you guys will be able to fill me in on that because you guys are playing the Lions, but just a storyline to watch.
Yeah, I hope DeAndre Swift is out there because I love to see the rookies out there. It'll be interesting to see when they put him out there. Will it be first down, second down, third down, or no downs? That story is going to be told this Sunday. So I'll continue to go with Tyler's bench here. No one on Tyler's bench has played in the NFL for more than a year.
Yeah.
So they're in their second year or they're a rookie. So Antonio Gibson, the guy named before, he's a rookie. Then we got Joey Burrow at LSU. He's a rookie. And that's a good guy to have on your bench. It's fun to have Joe Burrow.
I didn't draft 3 quarterbacks, so I'll have to pick someone up eventually.
Yeah, I didn't draft 3 either. Then he has Jerry Jeudy coming out of Alabama. My number 1 wide receiver in the draft class. You did? Okay. I just heard myself talking again over there on Tyler's thing, so it messed me up. But not my number 1 receiver. Well, I'm doing that because we're frozen on this computer.
Yeah, but
But on here it's working.
we're good.
We got all sorts of technical difficulties here. Yeah. But I really liked him with Tua in Alabama, and I think he's going to translate well with the Broncos. He's got a battle for targets with Cortland Sutton, guys in Denver. But I think he could do it. Then T.J. Hawkinson, like I said, he has 3 tight ends. We'll get to the next one in just a second. I like T.J. Hawkinson as a player. I just don't know how well the Lions are going to use him. He wasn't used that much. Now that Stafford's back, maybe he'll target that tight end position more. Only time will tell. Next tight end, of course, he had to do it. Cole Kmet with the Bears. Similar situation, kind of a little bit different because the Bears, they hype up Cole Kmet and Jimmy Graham, their other tight end. You probably know who he is. He's been around the league, and he's been very good around the league. So you probably know who Jimmy Graham is. But they've been hyping up each of them individually. I have no idea who's going to get the start. I have no idea who's going to get more targets. And I hope it's Kmet because, to be completely honest, I don't like Jimmy Graham that much. I do think he's kind of washed out. But if he can prove me wrong, then go out there and do it. Tyler chose to get Cole Kmet. Sorry, this is going a little bit long. Then Chase Claypool out of Notre Dame. He's with the Steelers now. And it's just a fun. You got him probably 18th round because you won 18th round. So not a bad last pick. It's fun. All right. We interrupt this live stream to bring you David's next comment about Ryan. I'll let Ryan answer it. But David made a great point. And he asked Ryan, why didn't you shave between the 2 live streams that we're doing today?
Yeah, I tell you what, I don't really, have the time to do that. We were trying to just get this darn thing to work all night. So that's what we're focused on. But I will have to do that soon because of, school. I have to do that. So that will be happening soon enough, but not yet. I'm keeping it absolutely as long as I can because, until we have full days, I don't have to take the mask off, so they don't have to know.
Sneaky guy over here.
Yeah.
Break a rule breaker in the middle of the table. We have to kick you out. You're suspended.
Yeah.
I don't see any scissors around here, or else I'd try to trim it for you, David, but I can't find any.
It won't be here too much longer. Don't worry.
Nope. Maybe I'll just withhold Diet Cokes from you until you shave it.
All right.
So that's Tyler's breakdown of his team for me. You guys want to do some more NFL talk? I thought,
of course.
Continue to pour questions into the comments if you have any.
Yeah, we want more questions.
Yes, right. We do. But I think we talked about playoff teams. I think it's fair that we talk about teams that we had maybe just missing the playoffs or playoff contenders or teams that might be a lot different than this year, whether that be better or worse. And I can start us off. I did mention the first stream my playoff predictions, as we all did. I didn't have the Denver Broncos in there. Originally, I did.
Really?
Originally I did, and then I replaced them with the Colts.
Oh.
So I had the Broncos getting the 8th seed. I think they're going to be much improved, but I think it's still too young of a team to make it to the playoffs this year. I think they're going to be right there. So that's one team that I look at and go, it's going to be close. I had the Dolphins being a little bit better this year. I think the AFC East, besides the Patriots and the Bills, is going to be irrelevant. I really do. I mean, not much of a surprise with the Jets, but the Dolphins. But the Dolphins might be okay.
No, I think the Dolphins will be.
We both had them in their playoffs. But I mean, that depends on what they do with Tua, which we could talk about that as well.
Yeah. Well, when do we think Tua is going to start? Like what week? Let's go around the table and think Tua will make his first start week blank. I'm going to pull up their schedule real quick so someone else can.
I'm just going to not even pull up their schedule. I'm going to say Tua makes his start in week 6.
Week 6.
I don't know who that's against, but
Well, I'll figure that out pretty soon. So, I pull up the schedule. They went with Fitzpatrick. Let's see. So I'm gonna say that Tua will start. I'm gonna go earlier. I'm gonna say he starts week 4 against the Seattle Seahawks at home.
6. Oh, the Broncos.
Yeah, I think Tua is gonna start week 4. I think that they made the right move, not rushing him into the fold.
I agree.
But I think that this Miami team is gonna realize, hey, we're decent. This team last year, they were supposed to go 0-16. They were supposed to pick first overall. They actually ended up winning 5 games, 2 of them against would-be playoff teams, and they had 2 losses that were by 1 point. So this team was really not that far from going 7-9 last year, and they played a lot of teams tough that you didn't expect them to. So this team is able to be ahead of schedule in the rebuilding process. We saw it last year. Last year was supposed to be the tanking year, but last year was actually kind of the 5-11 year. This year's supposed to be kind of a, kind of mediocre year again. I think Miami will sneak into the playoffs at that 7 seed. I think Tua will get in on the action. I have my concerns with Tua long term. He was my 3rd ranked quarterback in the draft. But as far as this year is concerned, because remember, these guys aren't drafted just for 2020 or just for whatever year they're drafted in. These guys are drafted to build the franchises around. So while I say I think Tua could have a lot of here, which I do think he can and will, long term, I have concerns. How long will he be able to stay in the NFL? The Miami offensive line is going to have, a lot of pressure on them because with the injury history Tua's had in the past. But as far as 2020 is concerned, I think if Tua plays enough and plays as well as he did, they'll be ahead of schedule again and maybe sneak into the playoffs at that 6 or 7 seed.
All right, so you said week 4, right?
Yes.
Okay, Tyler, you said week 6.
He's going to say week 5.
I said week 6 for Tua.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going week 5.
Yep.
And there's really one reason that I chose week 5. And it's about I actually don't know who they're playing. I didn't look that up. But I looked up when Mitchell Trubisky started for the Bears, and that was week 5. And I don't want Tua to be like Trubisky, at least for the start of his career.
Mean. First start against the 49ers?
Is that who it is?
Wow.
Fun.
Wow, against that defense? I don't know.
That's true.
Welcome to the NFL, Tua.
Yeah. So maybe not logically, but I already said week 5, and I'm sticking with it. There's really not much explanation I'm going to give you besides the fact that I said week 5, and that sounded like a good date for me to have him start. So I hope he starts earlier because as much as I do like Ryan Fitzpatrick, I do want to see I want to see Tua out on the field playing some football. I want to see all the rookie quarterbacks out there. I want to see Justin Herbert out there as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's
Jordan Love can stay out for a little.
Well, I was just going to ask
Justin
Herbert. Oh, do Herbert for then I got to love.
All right, let's do really quickly the same thing for Herbert. What week do we think he starts?
Let me look at their schedule. I think he could be ready, but they went with Tyrod Taylor.
I agree. I think we could see him fairly soon.
I was hoping for Herbert.
I think we see him. Let's see what we. I'm gonna look at the schedule this time actually. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I think he might be starting week 3 against the Panthers.
I was thinking the same thing. I think the Chargers will be 0-2 after weeks 1 and 2. Spoiler alert for our week 2 picks video, but and then I think that Herbert's going to be ready. I think that's a good opportunity. It's a home game. It's against a Panthers team that's not expected to be great, so I think that'd be a good opportunity for Herbert to get his feet wet, make his NFL debut. I like a lot of things about Herbert: the arm strength, the mobility, the toughness. He's got that that good stature, that size. He's 6'6". He's able to take hits. He's got that physical toughness. I think he has the tools to succeed in the NFL if he improves as he should. I think I'm going to say week 3, we get Justin Herbert. And that's what you said as well?
Yes.
Jordan?
I'm going to go. I actually do have reason behind this one this time. I'm going to say week 6 for Justin Herbert. I'm not nearly as early on him as you guys are. And I don't remember where I saw it, but I saw something that Anthony Lynn said the other day. He said how Tyrod was the guy until, I can't remember the exact quote, but he said until something proves him wrong or something changes.
It's his job to lose, basically.
I also said Tom Telesco said they were going to draft whatever quarterback was there for them. I'm pretty sure.
It was
who's the GM of the Chargers.
I saw that too. So
yeah.
Contradicting, but
yeah. So I think that Tyrod's going to be able to hold his ground for a little bit, but then they're going to play the Bucs and the Saints in a row, and then it's going to be like, okay, yeah, we just had 2 losses in a row. Now I think it's time to throw our guy in there against who? Oh, the friendly Jets defense. Nice win for you two. Justin. Justin.
You might be like, wait, this is the NFL? This is easier than last year.
Hello. I mean,
it's like I'm obviously joking. There's no NFL secondary that's better than a college secondary.
Yeah, of course.
I'm playing Stanford? What is this?
Come on, man. All right.
And they might bounce back. You never know.
Yeah. So we just got a little bit of
I
rookie
do.
talk there. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
I got one more rookie question. I almost forgot. It's a yes or no question, real quick. Will Jordan Love start a meaningful game for the Packers this year? Yes or no?
Oh no.
No.
I say no.
Unless Aaron Rodgers gets hurt.
Well, of course.
Unless
but-
Aaron Rodgers is hurt, but
No. Aaron
no
Rodgers.
way.
Yeah.
If Aaron Rodgers is not on the field for all 16 possibly plus games, if he's healthy, I think Packers fans, those cheese heads, are going to go absolutely berserk. They're going to go crazy. They love their guy Aaron Rodgers there in Green Bay. I've been there personally. I've talked to people, talked to Packers fans. They love Aaron Rodgers, and they didn't like the draft of Jordan Love as far as I have heard.
Yeah.
So if Aaron Rodgers is healthy, if he's playing fine, which he should be, if Jordan Love steps out into that field and Aaron Rodgers is sitting there with a jersey on the sideline, unless it's like a meaningful situation.
Yeah,
like
if it's
you
week
said.
17, nothing to lose. I don't mind.
But if he's out there when Rodgers can be, I think people are going to be furious.
Yeah,
Well said.
I agree. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be lights out this year. I think he knows what people are talking about Jordan Love being there. He's going to try and prove his own organization wrong for drafting Jordan Love.
Hey.
Does that mean I think the Packers are going to be lights out?
Prove Matt
Not
LaFleur wrong,
necessarily.
please.
I do think that the receivers are clearly lacking. Their offense could have improved, but they decided to get Jordan Love for 4 years down the road or whenever he's going to start playing. Doesn't make much sense to me. Their defense, they didn't address that very much. Their last game, they got absolutely destroyed by the 49ers running attack. They didn't address that at all. That concerns me. I'm a huge fan of Aaron Rodgers. I like him as a guy. He seems like a genuine dude. And as a player, he's really amazing. But I just don't know if that translates to the Packers being successful. Although I do have them in the division making the playoffs, as you saw earlier in the first stream. So, yeah, they do get some success, but that's because of Sir Aaron Rodgers.
All right.
Sir Aaron Rodgers. Yes, that's exactly right. All right, let's see. We are about 37 minutes into the live stream. It's 10:10. Do you guys want to keep going?
We worked too hard for this. I mean, is that just me? Or like,
No, I
after
agree.
all the
Keep
stress and the long night we had,
Yeah. All right.
football first, I don't have to get up for school till 6
Yeah.
o'clock, so I got
If
time.
anyone's got more questions, I know we don't have that many people watching currently. But if
Let's
you have a
get right
question,
on, don't blame you.
Yeah.
it is kind of late. I wish our other stream stayed up because we had a lot of people.
Next
in at
time,
one
next
point,
time.
But next time, that was going really well for us. But if you have a question, put it down. Even if it's a question that you might think is dumb, there are no dumb questions here.
Yeah.
I will answer anything, even if it's off of football as well. I
At
guess
this
we can
point,
answer it. Yeah, Ryan said at this point, yeah. As long as it's appropriate to answer
Yes, of course.
on this channel.
I was
So-
going to say, not necessarily any.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Within reason.
And our last, we have a question from Nora Rehor. She said, "What is football?" Anyone want to take this one
I don't
away?
know.
That is such a smart question.
Yeah. I got to dig
As
into
we
this
said,
one.
there are no stupid questions.
No.
Football is a game where
There's
you throw a
one
ball.
stupid. I'm just joking.
Um,
Calm down. You're nervous,
I mean,
man.
it's a pretty fun game.
Yeah.
We love it. That's a football right there, actually.
There you go. There you go.
Um, and
So
I know
football is a team where there are 11 people on offense, 11 people on defense, and the goal is to try to get the ball into the
you're
end
being
zone.
sarcastic, but we don't
what
care.
it's
We're
called.
asking a question.
Taking it seriously.
Whether it's a passing touchdown or a rushing touchdown, there's one quarterback on the field who can throw it to their wide receivers or their running backs or a tight end. There's also a running back who get handed the ball,
I did
and
not
then the
think we were
defense
talking
tries to
about this.
prevent the offense from scoring and getting points. There's also the option of kicking a field goal, which means that you can put the ball 7 or 8 yards back from the line of scrimmage, and you can send your specialist kicker out there to kick the ball through what is called the goal posts and try to get yourself 3 points instead of 6 points, which is a touchdown. So that's a little bit of a breakdown of football for you.
I got a shorter answer.
Okay,
It's the best game on earth.
I knew you were gonna say that, and you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's all I got to say.
All right, we got 2 more questions.
Mhm.
I'm kind of confused by David's question, Jordan. Do you understand that?
Let's take a stab at it. I don't see it, but let's take a stab at it.
Well, oh, I know what he's saying. He's talking about our football league that we did in the street.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
That's
that's coming back.
I tried really hard to get that.
Yeah.
Just people
Yeah,
don't respond. I
we'll-
tried
we'll
very
back
hard to
on
get
it.
that.
The Badgers were undefeated.
Yeah.
We
You guys were
did
3-0.
a small football team thing in our neighborhood, and it lasted for about 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and then no one had the audacity to show up.
That's right. That's
but
right.
if you get enough people, starting back up again, I'd be more than willing as commissioner to try and bring that back. But I did give a value, and I think that you just didn't have it.
And then Nora says, "Why is it called the touchdown table?"
Oh, we broke this down in our other live stream, not the one we did today, but the one we did a while ago.
Celebration.
We broke down how we came up with the name. Tyler, you probably tell the story best.
So it was your idea, right?
All right. So we did break it down. I'll go a little bit quicker, but we were at a sleepover about 15 months ago at this point.
That was
Had to be
June 6th.
June 6th.
15
Well,
months.
that was the day we first posted. That's probably June 5th or whatever.
Yeah.
So we were talking about it, and I brought the idea. Hey, let's make a YouTube channel up to these guys, and they were completely down for it. We said let's do it, and then we said what name should we try and do? We want to make it something catchy, trying to include something with football in there. Obviously, that's what the touchdown part of it is. And then we had the touchdown talk and the touchdown table.
Yeah.
Those were our final two options. We decided not to
one.
Oh yeah, and the secondary.
The secondary.
Jordan's idea was the secondary, but we didn't go with that one. He threw that one out there. We didn't like it.
Secondary is the defensive backs or cornerbacks and the safeties. So I just thought that was an interesting name. Also, we're like a secondary channel because you don't see many people on YouTube or age talking about football. These guys did not like my idea, so that was turned down pretty quickly. I don't necessarily stand by it to this day, but I don't hate it as much as these two do.
Yeah. Just touchdown table sounds.
I'm glad we chose what we did. Me too.
We got the mugs. We got this shirt, that banner. Look at how fun.
Look at it all. Yeah. Look at us. Who would have thought?
And now we can refer to ourselves as the table. Like you wouldn't have been able to say the talk. So I really like that we came up with this name. And it's been fun.
It's catchy, and we talked about if we do the touchdown table, we buy a table every time. And I said that's not going to be an issue. Let's get a table right here. That's what we did, and that's what we're doing right now. So we're very excited that we picked that name, and we're still here now. Jordan, if you have a question addressed towards you,
that's what I was laughing at.
I know.
And I'm going to do what I usually do. I'm just not going to answer it.
Oh, he's going to Bill Belichick you.
I don't even know what the question was.
The question was,
the answer is yes.
Been in love?
I mean, you did say there could be non-football questions, but I don't know if that's what you were expecting.
Just this is water. Very refreshing water. The best water in the world.
Ryan's not. Do you have some left?
No, I'm
Ryan's drinking Diet Coke like usual.
Yeah. I finished those before the live stream even started.
Just a little behind the scenes. Yeah. Every time Ryan's basically at our house, he's asking us for Diet Coke. I think the dude is an addict. Diet Coke.
Oh, no.
Come on.
That's a stretch, but okay.
It's pretty close.
I really think you're turning into those 40-year-old girls that go to McDonald's every day. I think that's going to be
okay.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Yeah. But he loves his, I almost said McDonald's. He loves his
I do
Coke.
like that.
You do like it. You like McDonald's too. He loves his McDonald's Diet Coke.
Yes.
Which I can't blame him for. That's some pretty darn good Diet Coke at McDonald's. They do some good stuff over there. I don't know what they put in it, but it's pretty good. But he, every time he's here, he's asking for it. Sometimes he'll come over. He'll take one out of his house. It'll already be here waiting for him. Sometimes Tyler will put one in the fridge for him just so it's nice and cold.
That's nice.
So behind the scenes on that. Another question.
Yeah, this ties into it nicely because David asked more stereotypes video. We made a stereotypes video kind of making fun of the things we did on this channel. It's one of my favorite videos we've made to this day. We could definitely think of more.
Yeah.
One of them could be
we love making fun of our
Diet Coke obsession. We could do that obsession with Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
We've thought of more ideas as we just make fun of each other. That would be really fun to do. Sir talks a lot over there on the left side.
Yeah, that could be one.
Your right side. I don't know. What else would there be for me? I feel like I say obviously a lot.
You do.
I do too.
Yeah.
And you say you know a lot of things.
Yeah.
We all have our tendencies here at the table.
Yeah. But
sometimes I slur my words. So that's something I need to work on, but it's all right.
Happens to the best of them.
Yeah. So that's how I said I would love to make more stereotypes videos. Those were fun. It's fun to make fun of ourselves and at the same time also have a lot of fun. Just putting out video together, it was a lot of fun to do. So yeah. Let's see what else we got here. We answered what are we drinking. Looks good.
Giveaways.
Any giveaways?
If we get more subscribers, we would happily do giveaways.
Hit that subscribe button.
If we get a lot more subscribers popping up here soon, so tell your friends about us, tell your family about us, tell them to subscribe. If we can get a big growth in what are we going to say, like next month, I guess.
Sure.
If we can hit maybe 10 in the next month, is that a good goal? we can try to give something away.
I don't know. We could look into that.
Let's go 15 in the next month. So we're in September, October 9th.
Good job.
Of 2020. If we get to 141 or 146 subscribers, then we can do a giveaway. So tell your friends and family about us. Get our name out there, and then you can get some free stuff as well.
Caitlin, why is this still going on? That's really rude of you, Caitlin.
This is attempt 2.
Oh yeah. We can't fill you in. I don't know if you were. You probably don't know what was going on. We were planning on doing this at 6. It took us 3 hours to get started. We did one stream. The volume wasn't working, and now we're doing a second stream after we couldn't get that one to work, but we got it again. So it is 10:19.
Yeah.
And we're still going with this.
We worked too hard to give up.
We have a bully. More questions we got as well. Kristen, let's see.
She said, Jack just in from an extra inning lost, wants to know your overall favorite video made. First of all, Jack, sorry about that loss. It's always fun to go into extra innings, but it sucks that you did lose that game. So, I feel for you for sure. But to answer your question, what was your favorite overall video that we made?
I got to think about that.
That's a good question. I'm going to go. I have my answers to this one. I think our most popular video, it was the Miami Dolphins. Was it Offseason Outlook?
I think it was one. I think it was the Offseason Outlook.
Yeah, and that was our first and I think only video that got over 1,000 views. I remember that week our kind of whole channel was going off. We were getting more views than usual. It was really exciting. I remember walking the school or the halls of my school and just checking how many views we got on that video and other ones. So that was just a really exciting time for the channel, just where things were growing a bit more. And I think just because of the popularity from that video, it's brought us maybe some of you guys watching this right now, maybe some of the subscribers we have here. And just for that reason, I don't remember actually putting it together that much, but because of the popularity of it, I think that's one of my favorite videos.
Yeah, and real quick, another video that I liked the first live stream we did, not the first one tonight, but the first one back on June 6th, celebrating 1 year of this channel, because it was really wholesome to see how far we've come, all the, fun memories and laughs and, football stuff that we've had on this channel. It's been really good to reflect on that, and that was the day we did a lot of that. And also that was our first live stream, trying something new. It worked better that time, but I hope to do more live streams like that in the future. So really that 1 year, it was kind of monumental. So that's why I really like that live stream. And we got a decent amount of views on that as well. Not nearly as much as that Dolphins one, but yeah, and hopefully even though this one, as we're closing in on 10:30 p.m. on a school night, hopefully we're still going strong.
We've been here longer.
Yeah, no, I said it, earlier, so I have no problem with this. I will sacrifice a good night's sleep for this easily.
I sacrifice a good night's sleep every night when I get caught watching TV.
Yeah,
and YouTube.
Okay. Like there are some days where he has to get up a lot earlier than I am, and I'm going to bed before he is because I just see I'm trying to go to bed and I see his TV on his room just like flipping because of the lights going off the TV. I could see it like flipping from blue to white back to blue. And I could hear him listening to Pat McAfee. Or whatever the heck it is that he's watching. Chris Sims. I think that's what it was last night.
Yesterday was the Chris Sims on Bun Pumpkin.
Yeah. So
all right. Let's keep going through these. David asked any touchdown table battles coming soon. Well, Jordan, that's kind of on you because we have a series on this channel. What's it called? Man to Man Mayhem.
Oh yeah, really quick. I just want to talk about. So you and me, we do competitions in that, right? What am I? I can't even count.
It's like 11.
12. I'm 12-0, I think. I'm 12-0, and this channel, this has existed for.
Hey, we haven't done one in a while.
Okay, still 12-0. I mean, come on, man. I know you're trying to go.
I have an idea for one. So
it's a lopsided rivalry.
I'm so forward looking.
Yeah, it's just a lopsided rivalry.
I have an idea for one. It'd be a different one. So if you guys want to do it, I can make it. We shouldn't take too long for to make it all either.
Okay.
All right, we can definitely do that. I don't know if that's what he was referring to. Maybe he was referring to like fist fight battles.
All right, come on.
I don't know if those are coming out soon, right?
No, we don't do that stuff on the
channel. Okay. Next question we have here. We've had some things going on in the comments. Wrong one. How many hours do you sleep? And we also have 2 requests to answer that one. Tyler, what'd you say?
Not enough.
Not enough. Tyler says. I
try to get enough, and I don't.
I'm usually trying to go to bed. I mean, it depends on the day, but
yeah,
I'll try to go to bed around 11:30, 12. Sometimes it's usually not earlier. Sometimes it'll be later than 12. with my school day, I had to wake up at around 9:30 one day, and then 7:15. Not 7:15. It's like 7:45 the other day. So it just depends on the day.
Yeah.
So I'll usually get around
Time
maybe
you want, right?
8 to 9 hours of sleep these days.
Yeah, my sleep schedule is really inconsistent
That's
right
true.
now because some days my school, some days I'm in school, some days I'm at home. So there's days I can sleep till 10, and then there's days I got to wake up at 6, and then it's the weekend, so I can do whatever, and then I got to sleep till 10. So it's a very inconsistent sleep schedule. So I really don't have much consistency with that right now. But over the summer, I was
I was about to say.
Yeah.
So on weekends, what time do you see yourself staying up to?
Well, during the school year, it's usually not as bad.
Like a Saturday night.
Saturday night, well, it depends where I am and what I'm doing, but normally it could be like 1 to 2 a.m. during the school year. But over the summer, there were multiple occasions where I saw daylight as I went to bed.
He actually sent us a video of birds chirping in the morning.
Yes,
daylight outside his window when he was still up.
Yeah, and also my record for the latest I've gone out of bed. Hey, since we're going on this,
Look at his record.
we've gone so far. Why stop?
That's true.
I woke up early, but I once got out of bed at 4:24 p.m. on July 20th, 2020.
He remembers the date too.
Yeah,
I was trying to wake
great.
him up to do the video.
Yeah.
He did not wake up.
So that was a crazy day. I'll just say that.
What time
Lots
did you go
of
to bed? Do you remember?
oh no, probably my typical 4 or 5 a.m. So yeah.
Typical.
And for the summer.
All right. Well, let's bring it back to football. Speaking of sleep schedule, right now the Texans are probably. Oh, that's actually good too. That's better. The Texans are sleeping probably in Kansas City right now, getting ready for tomorrow's game against the Chiefs. So the first game of the 2020-21 season.
I think Andy Reid's got the Chiefs partying.
Kelsey's partying. Yeah.
Probably. He's got to fight for it. He already fought for his right to party. Now he's just got to
fight for round 2.
Yeah, he's just got to maintain his right, I guess.
He's on the repeat run.
Just like me in fantasy football. So, like I said, tomorrow the countdown to football finally ends.
Was it 21 hours now? A little less than that, right? It's 10. 25, yeah.
We're right around. Yeah.
All right. Countdown.
So it's going to be super exciting. And then we have a full Sunday slot of games, 2 Monday night games. We talked about that on the first stream. But want to mention again, we're so excited. I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and Sunday morning, and there's going to be a huge smile on my face.
Of course.
I mean, we all love football so
I'll be
much.
waking up Monday morning with a frown on your face and Bears lose, though.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that always sucks.
It'd be Friday morning.
It's worth it when you wake up with that smile on your face when they win.
Yeah. And honestly, we said it at the top of the stream. Just we've got football. Even if my team gets destroyed, I'm never going to be so not like willing. Not that I'm happy. I'm never going to be so like satisfied with say, hey, I got to watch my Houston Texans play football in 2020 in a year with so much uncertainty and so much fear and doubt. I got to watch my Texans play a football game. So, of course, I want them to win. And I think they will. They're not just sleeping in Kansas City. They're being slept on because no one's giving them a chance. But, hey, okay. Well, just watch out. That game will be closer than you think. But, again, just let's be grateful. Of course, wins and losses matter. But let's just be happy to have football first and foremost.
Yes. We got another interesting comment in here now. I like this. Next live stream idea? I like it.
What is it?
Yeah. So the comment is from David Garza. He said, is there going to be a live stream where Ryan shaves?
Oh my god!
Yeah, we'll do our third live stream of the night tonight, and we'll just we'll it'll be 1 a.m. by then.
I gotta close my eyes. No way.
What did you say?
You don't get it.
In Rebels, one of the characters shaves his beard with a knife,
and he's blind.
Oh gosh, I don't know how it worked, but that's not what we're talking about right now. So that's not gonna happen, but do it for the views.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. If we get enough comments, maybe. I don't know why you'd want to see that, but
I'd watch it. I'd love to watch it. I'd love to sit right next. I'd love to do it actually. Can I shave it for you?
No.
Come on. I can shave the. You want right side? I'll get left.
All right. Okay. I did not know that
you can keep the stash.
I know it's 2020 and there's a lot of unexpected things, but the last thing I expected was to be here at 10:30 on the school and talking about how badly everyone wants to see me shave, but we'll talk about it. That's what I'll say.
Really, it's just David. But is he speaking for the people?
No, maybe. Yeah, let's get more commenters. Maybe.
He's speaking for me.
If we get maybe a popular.
Legs too? Hey.
No. I got hairy legs.
Maybe just one leg.
No.
Oh, no. All right. Man, this has gone wild. I'm actually kind of enjoying it.
Hey, we've earned this.
I think we have. Hopefully, I want to talk about kind of the future, like that kind of leads into it. But we hope one day that we can kind of be doing this format, like just talking for as long as we want, talking about football.
and then talking about random stuff,
Yeah.
like bringing that stuff up. I hope you guys are entertained by listening to this. I think we could entertain, like, people are dumb enough to go and watch a dumb show like that and just listen to people talk about random stuff and talk about football and sports. And that's what we hope to do in the future. So this is only the beginning of it.
Yeah. We still have a lot of work to do.
As you can tell by our failure,
better our way of talking and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Yes.
We have to better equipment around us, and we have to learn a lot. We have to go through some steps, but I think it's something we can do in the future. It's not going to be easy. I think all three of us know that, sitting here, the media industry, not just trying to be someone involved in sports, but the media industry overall is a tough business.
Absolutely.
It's a tough world out there, but we're all prepared for it. We know what's ahead of us, and we're willing to fight for it. We're willing to fight for a right to
Lombardi
table.
Yeah, obviously, we hope we can keep this going for a while, and we do have a lot of work to do. But if you watch this, then go watch our first video ever posted, which was on June 6, 2019. It's a lot different. We have come a long way. It has been a great ride, and we're just getting started. We're just pulling out of the parking lot on Touchdown Table Highway. We've got a long way to go, and I'm really, really excited for what's ahead for this channel and our pursuing of football careers and in the media area. So lots to look forward to. We just got to take it one day, one video at a time. But I think we're all headed in a positive direction.
Yeah. What's going on, Bongo? He says LMAO.
There's a lot of things you could be saying that to.
I don't know what
You've kind of gone out of our hands at this point.
Yeah. So I think it's getting time where we start to wrap this thing up. It's 10:30.
I don't know. I don't know.
If you guys want to keep going,
I kind of like this.
But we do have an issue on our hands. That computer is frozen, so I don't know how I'm going to stop this stream.
Never ends.
You know what? Tomorrow morning we'll be back. Just stay here.
We'll go on at 6 o'clock.
All right, we'll keep going then.
Yes, let's go.
Right.
I want more comments.
Any more random questions from you guys? Any more football involved questions? We'd love to. I'd say football first. But I mean, we'd love to answer any questions overall.
Bring them on.
You guys know us. We're Star Wars fans. So if you want to ask us stuff about Star Wars, we'd love to answer that. So just shoot questions if you have them. If not, then we'll talk about football. Talk about football. Yeah. All right. So we'll give you guys a second to shoot some questions. David does not have a question.
Wow.
No, he wrote that earlier, I think.
Oh, okay.
But I wrote this on our sheet for some things we could talk about. The COVID impact on the year. I think we should briefly talk about that because that's a huge point in the 2020-2021 NFL season.
Mm-hmm.
I think teams have been being very careful in training camp, and that could change as they travel to different cities and see new things. But the players have seemed to stay quarantined very nicely. There are very little positive tests, and I think that's great. Obviously, that is great. There's obviously again. But if they can keep that up, I really think we have a chance of getting through a full season. Regardless,
I think we can do it.
I think we will.
I think they're going to have to play through a couple COVID cases, and if people get it, it's just going to have to happen. They're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, there's going to be our fair share of cases around the league. There already has been some. No major names just yet, but there's going to be some issues with it. But we didn't learn as much from the NBA and the NHL because they're bubbled up.
Yeah.
But I think, did you like that?
No, I love it.
Oh, okay. But I think we learned from baseball, and we learned since they were traveling everywhere, we learned the effects that it has when one person on a team get it, the whole team didn't play. If that happens for football, I mean, for baseball, you can make up those games. You can play a doubleheader 7-inning game in the same day. Sure, it's tough, but for football, are you going to make up these games on other days? I don't know exactly how it worked. So I think football has learned from the MLB to really keep their players quarantined, to keep them out of people's ways that they don't have to see. And I think that there's going to be cases, but you just got to continue to play through them. And you got to be cautious as well. If things are getting too out of your hands, then Roger Goodell's got to stop it. He's got to say something because people are definitely going to want to hear that. But if it's possible to keep playing,
it's something worth talking about for sure on this channel. We haven't talked about it.
We really haven't.
It's deserving of something.
I just said have a quarantine, get playered. You probably didn't hear that. I want to say have a player get quarantined and just stay out for a little bit and get the whole team tested. Then do that. Do whatever precautions it takes.
We got another comment. Jordan, you're not going to get this one, but you said talk about Star Wars. Bongo said General Krell is the good guy. No, he's not. He's a Clone Wars character. Jordan,
I'm watching Clone Wars
You're
right
not going
now.
to get that for a
Yeah,
while.
I didn't get
But
that.
that's an
I
arc
watched all
in
of it,
Clone Wars where it was a little interesting. Basically, without spoiling it, the General Pong Krell, he's a guy that was very strict, and things happen that make him seem pretty evil, and the clones don't like him. So, but he's not the good guy in my opinion. I did not like him from the beginning of that arc.
Yeah, I've seen that arc, and I agree with you. Yeah, I've seen some arcs, but yeah, really quick, I just want to add on to back to the COVID thing. Obviously there's a lot of uncertainty, but we just got to be smart. We got to be grateful. Every team is kind of in a different city. Most of them playing in different stadiums. Some stadiums having limited numbers of fans. For those fans, it's important that they stay smart, follow their stadium's guidelines, keep their mask on only unless they're obviously like eating or drinking. Keep the distance, because that's what it's going to take to make this work. If we want football, and if we better yet want football with a little bit of fans in the stands, to maybe by the time we get to Super Bowl 55, maybe we can have 25 or maybe 50% capacity, because no one knows what the world's going to look like in February. And honestly, just there's going to be some bumps in the road, but that's probably expected. There might be a time where teams have to switch their bye weeks, or there might be a time where games have to get pushed back. So we'll have like 2 Thursday night football games because the game got postponed. We really don't know. There's going to be some unexpected bumps and bruises, I'm sure, but I'm confident that the NFL and that the fans and that everyone will learn to work with that and understand the circumstances that we're in and make the best of it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And just wanted to point out one more thing. This is a quote from someone who I particularly do not like. This is, if you don't know, it's from Kirk Cousins, the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. And on the Kyle Brandt, what's it called? The Kyle Brandt podcast?
It's the 10 Questions podcast.
Podcast.
That's also one that I've been frequenting recently.
He's got some famous people on there talking about it. I've seen some of it. It's some good stuff from Kyle Brandt. But he had Kirk Cousins on there, and they're talking about COVID. I don't know the exact context of it, but I do know the exact quote of it. And the context can basically be determined pretty easily. But he said, "If I die, I die." And talking about COVID. So
if you hear the quote out of context, it made more sense in the context of what he was saying.
Yeah.
But some people still disagree with it.
Yeah.
We probably shouldn't get too much into that.
No, I just wanted to mention it. It just felt like something that needed to be mentioned.
We got another football question. Thoughts on Odell? Are you talking about his play or his off the field stuff that's going on recently?
Maybe we're
not going to talk about it off.
Let's just talk about play. I think he'll bounce back.
If you want to know,
on the field.
if you want to know what the off field stuff we're talking about, just look it up.
Yeah.
Just look up Odell, and I'm sure it'll pop up.
Yeah, but
it's pretty striking.
In all seriousness, I do think that him and the Browns will have a bounce back here.
Andy mentioned it.
All right. Yeah, I do think in all seriousness, I do think Odell Beckham and that Browns team will have a bounce back here. I think, Odell's out there with something to prove. He wants to prove he could be a top 5 receiver again. I don't know if he'll get that far.
They really want us to answer that question.
Well, I'm not going to do that, but on the field, I do think Odell will bounce back and he'll prove some doubters wrong.
Now, I will say, without mentioning what it is about Odell, I don't know if it's true. If it's true, that's really weird and disgusting. But to me, I don't know. The source that we're getting that from, like, how do we know that girl is telling the truth? That's one person saying something.
Could be her getting mad at Odell and just wanting to get something going viral.
That is just so absurd. I don't know if I could believe it, but if it's true, man, that's disgusting.
Yeah. But just back to thoughts on Odell as a player.
There we go.
It's tough for me with Odell because I think he's a good player. Obviously, with this catch, that's where he went viral. That's where he went famous. And that's why so many people know his name. And whenever you're playing football with someone, usually the phrase or the word Odell is said just because every time someone puts out their one hand and catches it with one hand, everyone just says Odell or OBJ. He's really coined that phrase because of that catch.
But since then,
it hasn't really been his.
We made a video about this.
Yeah.
And
we have made a video about that one. Go watch that for sure. I think he's going to do better than he did last year. But I just don't see the hype behind Odell this year. I think he'll be a good receiver. I don't see him being top 5 up there with the top 5s like Ryan said. Maybe eking in the top 10, 15. But I don't see crazy amount of production from him. I think he'll do sufficient and do good enough for the Browns to play some good football. But I don't see it too much. And then going back to the thoughts on Fetish, I'm going to name a nice quote from my boy Nick Saban, the coach of Alabama. You're asking me to answer this question. My answer to you
is not going to.
I'm not going to. So quit asking.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great response to that. Always love to see that. You could also have said Pete Carroll, like I'll pass on that question.
Oh.
That's your thing, but
Yeah. Whenever someone says
I stick with Nick.
that knows about it, like you want
Not
to do
Nick
something
Foles.
I don't want to, I just go Pete Carroll and they'll get it.
Unless
Like,
he
if I
does
say that to Ryan or Jordan, they understand.
Yep.
Like, hey, should we make a video? And I'm like, Pete Carroll. Although I'm always the one asking to make the video. That's true.
Yeah.
That wasn't a realistic scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're talking about Odell. Let's talk about Jarvis Landry a little bit.
Underrated.
Is he underrated? Because he made the Pro Bowl last
he is
year.
underrated. He's being overlooked. When you think of that Browns team, you think of Odell. You say, "Oh, Odell's not doing good." Then no one else on that team can be doing good. Jarvis Landry. If Odell does not, get back to where he was, or even close to where he was back in 2014 and 15, Jarvis Landry could very well be that guy. I really think he has that potential in him. He had some good days when he was with Miami. I think it is not out of the question that if Odell does not improve, it's not out of the question, in my opinion, that Jarvis Landry could step up into that number one receiver
Now I
role.
think he's especially being overlooked by Odell.
Yes.
He could definitely be a number one receiver for a team. There's no doubt about that. But there's no doubt also that we've seen some decline from him recently. But I think if he just gets more attention drawn to him, people will start to realize that he's a better receiver than he gets credit for. Because there's a reason why he made the Pro Bowl. Although from outsiders that aren't from Cleveland or don't watch the tape of the Browns games, it's tough to see why Jarvis made the Pro Bowl. But there's definitely reasoning behind it.
Did he do good in the dodgeball too? The Pro Bowl
Yeah,
dodgeball?
I mean, there's guys like Allen Robinson
by
who
himself,
that would
and
have
then he like had
Something
a huge
like
comeback.
that.
Yeah,
AFC.
I was cheering for fantasy. Come on. But of course you were cheering for fantasy. I think I remember watching that back, and I think it was. I don't know if I'm recalling this exactly correctly, but I think it was just by himself on one team, and then by a series of him throwing balls at people and catching the balls that people threw at him. I think that he was able to have a nice comeback, being the only one still out on that dodgeball court, or I think it was a field. I don't know. So thoughts on Landry as we're talking about that now? It's kind of similar to Odell. I think they're going to have about the same amount of production. I think it'll be a good duo. I don't think it's anything that's going to wow me, knock me out of this chair that I sit in right now. But I think they'll be sufficient, and they'll do some good things with Cleveland.
Yes.
Am I the only one here that has the Browns in the playoffs?
I had them as the 9th seed in the AFC.
Okay.
I had them going 8-8, I believe.
Okay. Jordan, you don't.
They're in such a tough division. I think if they were in another division,
They
they could be a 10-16 and make the playoffs. But
Yeah,
they got to play the Ravens twice. They got to play the Steelers twice, and I think even the Bengals could split with them.
We'll have to wait and see. Very differing opinions on that division for sure. Mainly just me, but you know.
Well,
Watch our AFC North video.
We got some more comments in here. We got a question. When are Madden videos coming? Need to see Jordan. It's heated.
You don't want to. Oh my gosh.
I think my heated Madden days are pretty much over.
I haven't played Madden.
I haven't played Madden in a while. That's
Yeah,
true.
me neither, honestly. I've been on an MLB room.
Whenever I play, it's usually just by myself, and I think it's called franchise mode or something like that. So I'll just play as my quarterback. I haven't played against these two in a while. Maybe that's something we can do in the future. But
Maybe you and me can play.
Yeah, we could.
as long as there's no
That could
punching
be
going on.
man-to-man mayhem.
Oh, I don't know about that.
That could win one.
No, okay.
I could probably figure out a way to get the TV on screens, but we wouldn't have to just do that. But I'd have to technologically advance for that.
He'll do whatever
And,
it takes for him to win, since he is 0-12 in Man
Yeah.
Mayhem.
But as of right now, the technological issues are too much to handle. We're not going to worry about that. But maybe in the future we will do that.
Let me
That'll be cool.
cut him right here. So just wanted the reason why he asked this question, because in the past I've had some history getting a little bit raged with Madden.
Yes.
It's never been like
some
chucking stuff at the
videos.
walls, breaking things necessarily. It's never been punching people. No, I haven't gone to that realm.
You gotta be really,
but
really.
If you've watched Dude Perfect Stereotypes, they have a Madden Stereotypes. And I believe the exact wording of it is power button pusher. That's me.
Yes.
So whenever I'm losing,
he just walks up to the thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
whenever I'm
Yeah.
losing, or it's like fourth quarter and I just threw an interception and there's like 30 seconds left, they could just take a knee to end the game. I don't let them get the pleasure of taking that knee and just turn the game off. Probably not something I should be doing. I probably wouldn't do that now,
Take it
but
out of time.
I definitely had a record of doing that in the past.
All right. But so that's our Madden talk. And then David also asked something else. He said the disc golf table. I'm gonna hand that over to Jordan.
Yeah, you know.
Because
got
especially
it.
Jordan has become a big disc golf fan.
I still gotta work on it.
we can. Most of you are probably not gonna know what I'm talking about, but David's gonna know what I'm talking about. We could have our own Jomez Pro thing going over here. We could have a little.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
We can have the 3 guys that they have there. I'll see it on YouTube. We can, sit down, me, you, and one other guy. We can pull. You probably know who I'm talking about. We'll all sit down and talk about frisbee golf. Talk about Paul Macbeth. I would love to do that. I don't know as much about disc golf as I do about football, but I could definitely learn about it, and that would definitely be something I'd be interested in doing it. If you were down, I would do it. Yes, I love my disc golf. I think I have had an addiction to it. Honestly, I'm there almost every day if I can go.
Coach George got the disc golf. I've got editing these videos.
You've got
disc golf is fun. I've done it like twice, but it is fun.
Yeah, you've had some good times this.
I have absolutely had some good times this golf.
Oh, yes.
Hoping for more.
Dude, he's down. He's a dude.
Yes.
I think he's down.
It sounds like he's down. All right. Another football thing I wanted to talk about. We talked about the Broncos a bit earlier, but I wanted to mention them again because this is something interesting that Chris Sims brought up in his podcast yesterday. That I thought
I would sub to Andy.
Something to talk about. He said that the Broncos this year could be like the Browns of last year,
I hope not.
where it's like there's a bunch of young players and all that hype is around it. You look at their roster and go, "Wow, like this team could be good," and then it just kind of doesn't go up to expectations. And also,
I think that team is more the Buccaneers this year. I don't think it's as much of the Broncos. I think.
But
that's
more.
You
definitely see the comparison. Right?
You can definitely see the comparison.
Also,
now,
both teams played the Titans in week 1.
Yeah,
the Browns played the Titans last year in week 1.
That is an interesting comparison as well. But I think for years to come, we could be comparing these bunch of teams that we think are going to be good to the Browns that we saw last year. I think that's has to go away. If it happens again, maybe we can start making that comparison more. But that was a 1-year thing. Let's just let this hype be real for a little bit. Yeah. If you want to get on the train, get on. If you want to stay off the train, stay off. But I don't think like this crazy talk of Browns last year with every team is necessarily something that needs to be brought up. It's definitely something that is controversial and can be fun to talk about. But I think that could be a 1-year thing. Let's let the hype go or let the hype go away, whatever you choose to do. So, yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, this team has such a great young core at really every offensive
I didn't even answer
position.
the question.
But, yeah, I think this team, they're going to be better. And, I mean, this was a team last year where we saw potential. Drew Lock, 4-1 as a starter last year, and he's gotten a lot of hype this offseason. Can he put that on the field for a full season? I like to think he can. I love Drew Lock. I think that he's got a ton of great weapons. And that defense, even after losing, Von Miller for probably the whole year, they've still got playmakers. Bradley Chubb coming back, so it sucks that, Miller and Chubb couldn't.
It sucks for my prediction as well of Defensive Player of the Year for Bradley Chubb.
But you just, but
he'll still be on the field. At least as far as now he got injured last year.
That was part of why I took the Broncos out of the playoffs. I think Von Miller could actually win games for them.
He could, but I still think this Denver team can go say 9-7 and get one of those wild cards.
I think I had them going 9-7 this
year. They still got to deal with Kansas City, but they have this young core. They've got these great receivers. If they play to their potential, Denver can compete with absolutely anyone.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of hype there. I know these two definitely love Drew Lock. I'm on the train as well. Maybe not as in the front of the train, but I do like Drew Lock. I'm a big Judy guy. I love Cortland Sutton and that defense. It's been pretty good for a surmountable amount of time. It's gotten worse and worse since their Super Bowl run, but they won it with Peyton there. But yeah.
So there's plenty of NFL talk to go around. Honestly, we could talk for hours and hours.
I said that at the beginning. Who knows? Maybe if we did start at 6, maybe we'd still be going.
Right, honestly.
Yeah.
We got more questions.
Yeah. But what's the record for longest live stream ever? Take a look at the record.
That's definitely not an hour and 13 minutes. This is what around we are at right now.
Yeah. We'll break it next
30-minute live stream earlier.
Oh yeah.
What time? 10:47. Let's go to 11. You guys want to do
that? We could do that.
Maybe we can push that boundary a bit more too.
Yeah. That'll be like our tentative, ending point.
Yeah.
But if we get more questions, keep them coming.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say something, but I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
I have a question for you guys. So this isn't football, and we've talked about this off camera, but I want to put this on camera. I'm just gonna ask one simple question. We're gonna debate it here. It's gonna be a Star Wars question, and we all know each other's answer to this. But best Star Wars character. Tyler, yours is
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ryan, yours is
Anakin Skywalker.
And mine is I cannot really decide between Obi-Wan and Han Solo. But I did make a decision before I picked Han Solo. So first of all, well, Ryan, explain yours first.
Yeah,
you guys comment yours too.
Yeah, getting late. So yeah, sure. Comment your Star Wars characters. We'll talk about that.
It's getting late.
Yeah, But anyway, I just love the way that they kind of made Anakin's character. He is the shows when he is what Star Wars is about. It's his story. George Lucas has said that himself. And people criticize Hayden Christensen for his bad acting, but I don't think it was bad. I think he played the character well because I feel
especially the Attack of the Clones. That's what really they're referring to. Yeah. I think Revenge of the Sith he played well. Nate. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like what they did with his character. I think he was relatable for a lot of people because things like jealousy, anger, fear, those are natural human emotions that people experience every day. When people think maybe it's corny, maybe some of the dialogue was questionable, I think that Anakin really demonstrated those human emotions. And then go all the way to even through the originals. He is still Darth Vader. You argue if you kind of disagree. I think if he's the same, is it the same person? Literally yes, but metaphorically no. So there's a lot of gray area with that. But even in the end,
I think we counted it. Did we count him as the same person?
Yes, I think. Yeah, and I think ultimately that's what we should. He's always there. He's always. If he's not in the movie, he's at least part of the story, or he's somewhat relevant. I just love his whole arc from start to finish, and that scene at the end of Return of the Jedi, where his Force Ghost comes up and he sees Luke. I think that's one of the best scenes in Star Wars. It's kind of a wholesome end to the first 6 films, and then also one thing I gotta add. I don't like sand.
Doesn't like sand. Well, just wanted to add one more thing in there. People don't like the sequels, or some people don't like the sequels. Big Star Wars fans, we don't like the sequels, and I think a big part of that could be because Anakin is not in it. It's kind of like
my thoughts on
it's the Skywalker saga, as Ryan always explains to me. And when Anakin's not in it, sure there aren't technically some Skywalkers in the sequels, but this kind of takes it away and it makes it some different people's stories. So those hardcore fans don't like the sequels for that reason. I'm gonna go next with mine. I said Han Solo, and he's a naturally cool dude. Now, I was not alive when these movies first came out, but I can imagine when these movies first came out, people would watch them and go, "Oh my gosh, this is really awesome!" And they watch Han Solo on screen, they watch Harrison Ford on screen, and just that's someone that they look up to. He's a funny character. He can be. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say cocky, but I guess a little
charismatic.
Charismatic that time, exactly.
You watched that.
I did, yeah. So that's the reason I liked him. And then also, if you don't know, the 3 of us and a few other our friends, we actually did a remake of Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Sith. And in Return of the Jedi, I was Han Solo, and I really, as Ryan constantly said, I embraced that role.
You did.
So that was really fun. That's the reason why I like Han Solo. But everything Tyler's going to say about Obi-Wan right here, I'm going to back too because I love Obi-Wan as well.
Obi-Wan's in my top 2. Obi-Wan is number 2 for me, so I can do that too.
I'll make it quick. First off, I love the memes about Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think the character growth with him, both in the prequels and the original trilogy, is very nice. You can really get the emotions from Ewan McGregor, who's the actor for him, especially in Revenge of the Sith. David asked about the breakdown of that. I think that Ewan McGregor, for one, did a great job in that movie. And
that's our sequel. Across the table, that's our favorite movie, right?
Yes.
Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's close between Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Sith, I think, for all of us,
yes.
But we all chose Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, for the memes.
Yeah, but I simply just love everything that Obi-Wan is, and Alec McGuinness in the originals as well. It all really connects nicely, and it's just so satisfying to watch. Nonetheless, Clone Wars is a great character in that.
Yeah.
So just so much like from Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the most action-packed film out of all of them. The sequels, because they're more advanced things, you can put more action in it.
Yeah.
But the
Phantom Menace is kind of outdated because they used the CGI. Remember that last scene in the Phantom Menace where they have like the tanks going up? You can tell it's like really fake. Mm-hmm. But even in the original, that holds up today because they didn't use any CGI or anything. They just had like small little models of stuff, and it looks good.
Yeah. And in the Phantom Menace, the main action is towards the end of the film.
Yeah.
In Attack of the Clones, the main action is towards the end of the film. In Revenge of the Sith, although there's not the film starts off with them retrieving Emperor Palpatine from Grievous's ship. So it just starts off really fast right away, kind of slows down in between, but then it picks right back up again. to one of the most, if not the most, epic battle in all of Star Wars, an Obi-Wan and Anakin battle. So many memes from that battle. The whole movie is just really good production, really nicely put together. A lot of action, a lot of story in it as well, and it really wrapped up the original 6. As the last one coming out, of Star Wars 6, and then the sequels came out after.
Yep.
We also have another question in here. This was up there earlier. Most annoying characters in Star Wars.
Well, it kind of gets mentioned. In the sequels, I will say I don't like Admiral Holdo.
No, I'm with you.
I mean, I liked Rey, but Andy mentioned it. He said Rey doesn't deserve to be a Jedi. They could have done a lot with her character. I liked Finn's character,
He had
but
potential.
I will say what's annoying about Finn's character is exactly that. There was so much potential for him. I honestly think they could have made Finn the main character in the sequels, and that would have been so interesting.
Yeah.
But I think they got that wrong.
You know what else they could have
he
done?
went around screaming Rey.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know what else they could have did? I think this is what George Lucas wanted to do. I was watching a video on this the other day. The person in Rise of Skywalker who was kind of the main person, I think she took over Lucasfilm. Her name is Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
She wanted to do more stuff involving Rey, but I think George Lucas is some other higher up guys. They want to do things more involving Ben Solo.
Yeah.
Steve Stillman.
We got a lot of him.
We didn't get a lot of him, but they wanted him to take that Rey role. They wanted him to be the main character, since he has that bloodline, that Skywalker bloodline in him, from Leia.
Well, apparently Rey has the Skywalker.
That's metaphor.
Yeah,
we got a question about that too. At first, I didn't like the fact that that she was Rey Skywalker when I first watched it. But now I start to understand the meaning behind it. I still think it would have been better.
The first time I got it, I knew that the meaning behind it was there. They actually could have said, you know what? As much as I didn't like Kylo Ren, because I know I just didn't like his character that much. I know there are different opinions on Kylo Ren. Someone in this chat might be hating me soon because I said that. He's not an awful character, but just he didn't get the storyline that I quite wanted, being a Skywalker.
Yeah, look, I think that with the whole Rey Skywalker thing, like I don't love it. It just kind of did rub me the wrong way. But if you think about it metaphorically, I mean, she doesn't remember much of her parents. In a way, Luke and Leia were the only ones there for her a lot of the times. So it makes sense, but it just still doesn't fully click.
Let me put it this way. It makes
sense. But at least kind of a little, maybe metaphorically, but just for that scene. But I don't think she should go by that for the rest of her, post episode 9 life.
Because I don't know. I think they're making another trilogy from what I've heard.
Well, apparently Ryan Johnson wants to make his own trilogy.
Ryan Johnson wants to make his own trilogy.
Yeah, I don't know if that's happening.
We'll see.
I think Dave Filoni should just direct his own trilogy.
I
do what the Mandalorian is doing. Take Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and give them other directors like Taika Waititi, who directed.
Didn't they say he's doing a movie for Star Wars? Did they?
I'm not sure, but he's part of the Mandalorian. And then there's Deborah Chow, who did the directing for the Mandalorian. There's others too that I missed out on.
Yeah.
But just get a whole crew like those guys and just put those brains together, people that love Star Wars, and make a good trilogy.
Well said.
I think they can do it.
But where would they place a new trilogy, and what would it be about?
I feel like it would have to be after, but
what?
There was
after that,
the Empire was already destroyed once.
Yeah.
And it came back, and then it was destroyed again. And it came back, and it was destroyed again.
Yeah.
Can't do the same thing again, right?
No.
The Empire actually, was not destroyed after.
But there's our Star Wars talk.
Yeah, that was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Oh, Andy says the Old Republic would be a new storyline.
I've heard rumors about
that. They could go way back, and that would be really awesome.
That would be, see the height of the Jedi. Maybe see Yoda during his youth or something.
Yeah. Actual Baby Yoda.
Maybe you're not about baby, but maybe Padawan or something.
I have a question for you guys. How do you guys feel about the coined phrase now, Baby Yoda? Do you like that?
Well, I call him the child or the baby. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it does not bother me because when we see that species and those green pointed ears, that's the first thing we think of. Yeah. I do think we'll get a name for him in Mandalorian season 2. By the way, where's the trailer? But anyway, I'm fine with Baby Yoda for now. But once we get his actual name, I don't think he'll be related to Yoda in any way, shape, or form. I just think that maybe his species is especially strong with the Force, and that's probably why the Empire wants him. So I really don't have much of a problem with it right now. But once we get a name for that baby, we'll call him by that.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. And then going back to the Old Republic thing, I think that'll be fun to watch. Maybe see Obi-Wan and his upbringings. I mean, you saw a bit in the first movie, but you'd see even more of that. Maybe you can see Chancellor Palpatine when he's younger.
Old Republic might be before them.
Plagueis.
Yes, absolutely.
I wish they connected to that in the sequels. The tragedy of.
I saw some. I think I told you about this, but I think they're making some sort of spin-off movie to Revenge of the Sith, where they're going to have Darth Plagueis and
such an interesting conversation.
And Emperor
I'm here for it.
Palpatine. Like,
I love it.
Since those two are kind of a duo, I think Plagueis is going to be puppeting Palpatine a bit from the sidelines. They're going to show that, and that's all going to be happening during the timeline of Revenge of the Sith. I don't know if that's confirmed, but I saw a video about it. I think that would be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I agree on that. So we said we're going to end at 11. It's 10.
So you can see Qui-Gon.
So we got some Star Wars talking. I'm glad we did do that because we always love to talk about Star Wars, and
of course football too, but we don't mind switching it up a little bit once in a while.
David wants to move to Marvel, and their TV show is coming to Disney Plus. No, you don't know as much about Marvel. I'm excited for the Disney Plus shows that they're going to bring to Marvel. I know some things have gotten delayed, but it's all going to be exciting. And as for the Black Panther, that's really upsetting. But from what I know, I think they filmed Black Panther 2. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. It's really upsetting to hear what happened to Chadwick Boseman.
Yes.
I know, Ryan, you weren't much of a Marvel watcher, but even you know who the Black Panther was.
It's not just Marvel stuff. Like,
he was in Jack
42, which 42 is one of my favorite movies of all time. I could rewatch that movie a bunch. It's such a great movie. I actually didn't know this, but Harrison Ford, I was talking about earlier, he's in that. He's Mr. Ricky.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know that, but I was told that the other day. But he acted that so well. He played Jackie Robinson so well, an important character to play, a role model for a lot of people. And he played that absolutely perfectly. I love what he did in that movie. I love what he did in other films. And I love what he did in Black Panther.
Yeah.
And, through all this filming and stuff, he was cancer, I think. And he was able to fight through this and film movies like Black Panther, all this stuff, even while slimming down his body, not helping him that much. That's just fight and determination from Chadwick Boseman. So just thought we mentioned that. Mm-hmm. But for the future of the Black Panther films, that's tough. Marvel's a smart organization. Disney and whole is a smart organization. I think they already know what they want to do. So I think whatever they do, I think fans are going to understand because it's not easy, but I think they'll make it a smooth transition. And sometimes it's tough to talk about what they're going to do because we're still mourning the loss. But there is, you have to kind of move a bit.
It's a move on as Captain America said in Endgame, I think.
Yeah.
Move on. But, I mean, don't move on too quickly because it really is upsetting.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's
finish it off with football here.
Yeah, let's
get
off to a brighter note. Final mention: the whole reason why we did this live stream. Football is back, baby.
Yep.
We're less than 24 hours away. The first game will be over for 24 hours from now.
Yeah.
We're gonna see who won, the Texans or the Chiefs, unless it goes in overtime, which would be awesome, by the way, if it did. We got so many more games coming up on Sunday. We made a video making our predictions.
I'm down for it.
David says go to
stick with us.
I don't know. I think it's time. It's probably time we close it out.
I don't know.
We could do more live streams in the future.
Absolutely. And we're going to get them to work.
Hopefully.
One. We said we were going to go on at 6:00, but, that did not go according to plan. But, after, hours of, stress and worry, we got this to work. Yes. So we're glad that we could bring this to you guys. And hopefully next time it'll go according to schedule. We can get even more viewers and more questions.
Yeah. Huge success, as I think the NFL will go this weekend. So we're very excited. Now here comes the tough part where I try and close out the screen on my frozen computer. So you guys keep talking as I try and figure that out.
All right, what should we wrap up with while he's trying to end that?
It's been a long off season, a grueling off season, not just because there's been no football, but on all of us, it's been kind of tough with the COVID-19 virus pandemic hitting. It hasn't been easy. I don't know if you can see me anymore. Oh, you can. As Tyler turned the computer a bit more. But it's been a tough time. Football is back. Spirits are high. Sports are back. It's not just football. We love all sports. But football, specifically for us, is back. We're excited to see it back. It's going to bring smiles to our faces, as well as so many other people out there. Football is back. NFL football is back. Sundays of me sitting in front of my TV are back.
And Saturdays sometimes, too. With college, we got Clemson playing this week, Oklahoma playing this week, some big schools.
So it's been a long time coming. It's not like forever, but it's here, and I'm ready to roll.
Yeah. All right. Welcome back, football. That's all I really got to say. My time's probably up.
All right. The best team and why is it the Bengals? I like the way that was phrased. Joe Burrow.
Definitely.
There you go.
Bengals will be better, but not the best team. Maybe in 5 years.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna close it out. As I said, gotta try and figure out a way to get this closed. But if we end abruptly, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna try and turn my computer off and see if that works. Is that okay with you guys? So if it does turn off, the stream ends. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back with more live streams and videos in the future. And with that, we will see you guys later.
See ya.